Hey guys, we are going to go through today just a very easy, gentle, more of a stretch. I'm quite sore in I'm just tight, I guess, in my glutes. I get quite tight if I work out. So what I'm going to do is just take you through something just to ease that pressure, lower back, hips, glutes for me are always tight. So if you've been hitting it pretty hard, just want to do kind of a stretch down session. I do a lot of these. I try to do, not this specific one every day, but I try and do some form of just a bit of a stretch routine to get that release every day. As I'm getting older, I just find it just so beneficial. It's also a good time out, time to relax, time to unwind, and give yourself a bit of a time out. So get into it, but if you're tight, if you're sore in your lower back, this will hopefully give you a bit of release. So we all get a little bit tight and sore. For me, it's from, we did some agility, and we did some speed, and we did some work in the heat yesterday. So we're in the aircon today, it's so hot outside, so we're gonna, so keep it nice and easy. So without further ado, as I said, it's gonna be nice and simple. We're gonna start what we call just a modified plank. So we're just gonna come child's pose, back. So just kind of hips squeeze down, and then we're gonna come forward into a modified plank, just to get that warm up and push down. And then we're just going to go back and forth. So just a really good way we can move it side to side. As I said, I'm quite tight, so I find these sort of things, we can do this, we can foam roll, but these kind of stretches, perfect. And hopefully definitely give you a bit of release. So when we come here, we're going to push down and then just come back and forth. When we come back, sort of hands forward, fingers apart, and push that head down on the exhale, and then just back and forth. So really just going to release that spine. We can take it side to side, and we can use that breath. Okay, next we're in a child's pose. But we're just going to take the fingers forward a little bit into what we call a puppy pose. So we're going to get a bit of more of a stretch in the upper back. And again, when we're in that position, we're going to use our breath. Breathe in. And then on our exhale, we can really sink that head down and stem the back. And feel that extension in the spine. And we can sort of hinge it forward a little bit more. Again, we can sort of rock it. You can open it side to side. We can take pressure off one hand and just kind of rock it side to side. So again, just a bit more release today. More of a, similar to getting a massage, just getting a bit of release. And then from here, we're going to thread the needle. So we're going to come back to child's pose. So we're going to sink it down. We're going to take our left arm through. We're going to take left arm through and across. And really get a twist in that lower back. Get some blood flow there and twist it. We can move the upper arm, and again, just use our breath. Oh, it feels like it is. So a lot in that upper back. We come forward, child pose in the middle, and then we're going to thread the needle on the other side, so that twist. Still sort of pushing our hips down. Get a nice release. Oh, we can twist it. All you can do is use me. Oh, we can groan. Okay, back and forth again. So back. Don't push it. I don't want you to just push it to enough where you get a little bit of a release. And then just take it back and forth. Back and forth. Back, we'll do one more. Back. And then this time we're going to come all the way down. All the way down to the mat. Just kind of extend everything back so we get those legs back. And we're going to come into what we call a cobra. We're going to do, it's called a baby cobra. It's probably one of more of the underrated stretches, if you ask me. But if we just bring our elbows just underneath our shoulders, and then we're just going to lift up and get that release in that lower back. incredibly stretch it up, and then relax it. But when we come up this time, we're just going to come up. We're going to go one way, look to the left, release, and then to the right. We're just going to go back and forth. So it's called baby cobra stretch. But as I said, really underrated. And again, like this kind of video, you can do it anywhere. You can sit there and watch TV one night. And you can just sort of have this on and you can just sort of unwind and really kind of get used to sort of looking after your body if you're feeling tight. And again, if you feel tight and you don't do anything about it, it builds up and it builds up, and that's when we sort of run into issues. If we don't give ourselves, that big release. So we'll go one more side. And you can do these poses longer. You can sort of pause the video. If you find that this is really kind of relaxing, you can pause it, hold it there. Okay, next one, we're going to come into an up dog. So we're going to just take it a little bit further. So we're going to bring our hands back just behind our shoulders. Stretch that body out, and we're going to come lift up, and we're going to come into what we call up dog. You can bring the knees off the mat. We want to squeeze the shoulders down, breathe in, and we can sort of roll it side to side. Really good release. And keep it going back and forth. So a lot of what we're doing is twisting. So when you twist, we're going to get that release. A lot of people stretch and we just go in one direction, but that twist, especially that lower back, we're going to loosen it up. So now I'm just sort of going, roll that leg over. Oh, I just got a little bit of crack in the back. I'm showing my age here, aren't I? You see the groans and the... So back and forth. Oh. So up dog. Again, just come back to that up dog. So if you can take the knees off, but again, wherever you're comfortable. If this is the first time you're sort of doing these poses, you want to kind of ease your way in. And don't push it. You're not going to push you with any sort of pain, especially if you're having any sort of pain. We're not going to push through it. We just want to gently release it. Okay, come on down. We go right the way out. Now we're just going to take arms out, feet out. Arms are a little bit off camera. We're going to get arms out, and we're just going to lift it up. Back and forth, down, stretch, extend, get some extension in that back, up, side to side if you want to go side to side, and then down. I feel better already. And I literally do, I mean, these kind of things, you've got to sort of get yourself in the routine. Yeah, if you are working out a lot and you're not stretching, you're probably going, I don't need to stretch. I'm not need to stretch. Or whatever. But I'm telling you, as you grow, you're going to prevent the chance of injury. If you do get injured, you're going to heal quicker. Come down. Okay, next one we're going to do, we're going to come over onto that back. And you're going to reward, it's going to reward yourself. I mean, just a bit of time out, Okay, knees into the chest. And what we try and do here is get that knees in, squeeze them in, and then kind of just rock it. Just really relaxing pose, just rock it side to side. So we're going to work our way into those hips and those glutes now, but before we do that, just relax it, close the eyes, a couple of deep breaths. And then we're going to get into, like I said, those hips. So, I don't want to get out of this pose, I like it too much. Okay, we're going to come down, and we're going to just take left knee into the chest, and all we're going to do is we're just going to take it out to the side, and then across, we're going to pull it towards your right shoulder. So you're going to do at least that glute. For me, that's where I feel that there, and then extend that out, extension in the hips. When I extend that way, I can feel that in my right hip, right glute. And then back and forth. And like I said before, hold these poses longer if you want to. Pause the video. If you want to sort of get more out of one pose. across, and from here we're going to take the leg right out. So we're going to go leg out, and we can pull it out. Doesn't matter where you're grabbing it on the leg, I'm kind of flexible there that I can grab it. And when I grab that leg out, I'm going to reach my right arm out on the other side. So I'm really opening up chest, feel it in my right glute, left groin, and I'm turning my right toe, I'm sort of turning that out towards my right. And then from here, I'm going to come up, leg up, and then get all the way onto the other side. When I get to the other side, I'm going to take my left arm out, and then I'll look back towards the camera. So real twist and open up that lower back again. Work our way into that glute. Feel the twist in my back. I can feel my back crack. And then just back and forth. Extend out. You don't have to take the leg out. You can keep that knee bent if you like. If you find it, and then just back across. So more of a dynamic stretch now. As in dynamic, I mean, as in it's a movement. Oh, what a stretch. What a stretch. I wish someone showed me these stretches when I was younger. Okay. Again, go right leg, and we'll start with the knee in. So pull it in, take it out to the right, and then bring it across and pull it towards my left shoulder. Pull iron, sore and tight on my glutes. Well, I mentioned that before. Open it up. So the kind of video you can use it, I mean, again, you don't have to work out to use these videos. You can do this video as just a release, you know, just as a wind down. If you want to meditate, you can do it. When you meditate, you can do it just to give yourself a time out, as in front of the TV. And then across. And out. And then take the leg up. Let's come away from the wall a bit. And then out. Again, when we get to the other side, I want to push my left, stretch across. Feel that release. And really, all it is just going to release a bit of tension. So across, look back. Yeah, that tension gets built up in the muscles. And we've just got to find a way just to release it. Out. So yeah, I probably use stretches. As I said, I do a lot, so I really do enjoy doing it. As I'm getting older, I find it really quite enjoyable. But I think for a lot of different reasons, like a lot of days I use it just to relax. Especially because I do most of my workouts in the morning, and then I've got work or sport, but then if an evening I find, or an afternoon, just find a little bit of time to stretch, and sometimes it's just minimum 10 minutes, 10-minute stretch. Okay, come up. Let's see what we've got next. No, we've got next. Pigeon. So what I want you to do, just start on your hands and knees. We're going to bring our left leg forward. Now we're going to try and cross it over. Okay, so we're going to have a cross over. Now some of you are going to be sort of leg underneath, but I want you to try and get that leg. We're not going to get 90 degrees, that left leg, but we're going to get it more across our body. When we get there, we want to sink, push that right leg back. And what we're going to do is going to sink down. So this is called a proud pigeon, but we're going to find where you're comfortable. Now some of you might be really, really sore and tight here, and you think, no bloody way. But trust me, when you do this pose, the more you do it, this is where we're going to get the release here, and then our right hip flexor, because we're going to sink down. Okay, but we're just going to be gentle with it. When we get to that stage here, I just want you to rock it side to side. Now this is where I say it's like a massage. Because we're going to find that sore spot, or that tight spot, and we're just going to rock it side to side, and we're just going to loosen it up. So really good pose. Again, if it's the first time you've done this pose, you're like, what? There is no way. But trust me, the more you do it, your body will adapt to it. You release some of that tension, that soreness. the next down, you're a little bit more flexible with it. And then we can even, to make it a bit easier, or make it a little, to get to a little bit more across that glute, we can come down on our elbows and we can rock it side to side. Rock it, feel that release. You can sort of hold it in one spot. So you can compare it to using a like a foam roller. You know, when we do our foam roller, for those of you who've got one of those, you find that sweet spot and you kind of roll over it again and again, very similar to what we do here. Okay, so rock it, come up one more time. Now I didn't mention that lower back either too, so when we do that, we straighten at the back, we get that right hip flex up, we come in one spot. Okay, excellent. Other leg, forward, find where you're comfortable, and then sink down, push that foot back. And again, just find where you're comfortable, just find that little bit of balance. We're going to come into proud pigeon first, and we're just going to rock it. I'm a little bit sore on this side, so I can definitely feel it. Side to side. Oh man, that's good. That is good. And of course, there's other days where you think, well, I'll just grab the foam roller and do it. And that works too. But I just find, as in this pose here, we can cover so many more areas in one spot. Mind you, I've got all those. I just did a draw behind me, I've got all those different massage gun, vibrating roller, foam roller, TENS machines. I've got one that's got a big hook that gets to me back. So I think every year, every time they come out, I sort of grab those new ones. Down. Vibrating foam roller, yes you did hear that. Maybe it's a machine. Maybe I should get it and show you so you know what it is. So you're not getting the wrong idea. So rock it, come up, proud, stretch it back, sink the hips down, leg back, and then let me take you in to a pose you've probably seen before, and you've probably seen a lot of athletes do it on telly, but very underrated stretch, called a scorpion pose. So straight down, legs back, arms out to the side. We're going to take right knee up, and we're just going to come across and twist that lower back. And then we're just going to take it side to side. So twist. So again, glutes, hips, lower back. And you can keep going side to side. You can hold it longer if you like. I just kind of find that dynamic stretch, that movement, that release is where I get the most benefit. There are other days where I'll do it and I'll hold it longer. But I just find, especially this pose, I like just to go back and forth with it. And you can sort of go back a bit further, again, find where you're comfortable. Okay, let's just do a couple more. Come up. Let's just see what else we've got down here. Okay, reverse. I thought I reversed it before, but I just want you to come back down on your back. Knees, let's go down. Well, let's go knees across. Now what I want you to do is go the left knee bent. Right leg, I'm going to go top of my left knee. So I've got my right ankle on my left knee. Arms are out, and I'm going to, this legs, I'm going to push them down. So that release is going to come through the lower back here, but into that glute of my left leg. Now I've got it bent. Oh, what a stretch. And this kind of stretch I like to use to release and just use my breath. Breathe in, relax, and then as I exhale, I'm going to push down. Really, again, I'll get that release in that glute. One more breath. And then we'll go to the other side, so we'll go knees bent, right leg, right knee bend, and then left ankle on top of the right knee, and then push it down. So it's off the ground. I haven't pushed mine down. My knees are off the ground and I'm pushing them towards the ground. Get that stretch. Release. And one more breath. That's it. Knees into the chest. And then we're just going to go windshield wipers, so I'm going to take them side to side. This is definitely one of my favourites. Very underrated stretches, side to side. Loosen up the quads, glutes. So I said a couple more, so I'll do one more. Actually, we'll do two more, but last one. Now this one, I'm going to give you a couple of options on it, because it is a little bit tough. But we can either do butterfly pose, which is just digging the elbows in, feet together, elbows into the calves, and then push down. Or we want to take it further, so you can hold that pose, we can do what we call a firewall pose. So I want you to go left leg down, right leg, I want you to come on top of your left leg. So cross it, and then I'm going to come off this hip and I'm going to hinge forward. So this stretch, although you might look at it and go, no way in the world. If not, again, do that butterfly stretch. But this stretch, come down, and the release you will get in that glute, incredible. And it'll do both sides as well. We're working this one more, but it'll release both sides. So come down, and again, breathe in, and then hinge, and sink it down. So it's uncomfortable, I know, definitely. And you look at it and go, oh, no way in the world. But I tell you, the release you'll get from this is A+. Down, A+, A+. I did say that. Release. Such a good stretch. So bring it up. Straighten out the back, up the shoulder rolls. And then we'll go to the other side. So either again, if you're in that butterfly pose, just kind of release it, back and forth, sink it down. You can kind of push them down slowly and rock them back and forth. If not, then you want to do that fly lock. And again, this is one of those ones where you go, well, I couldn't do it. But over time, you build yourself up, you work on your flexibility. When you get flexible, you definitely kind of feel a bit younger as well. So work on it. Get the benefits, not just feeling better, but no, it kind of makes you feel a bit younger, a bit more flexible, a bit more agile. You can do more things, you can recover quicker from things. And then again, when you're sore, you know how to ease your way out of it because you're flexible and you can work on that stretch. And I mean, so many things online now. You can go look up on YouTube and you can do things like this. There's videos everywhere that you can kind of do and find someone that you like to follow and then get into the routine and then work your way through. And then that way too, I guess, if you follow different people, you can kind of work on different poses. Find things that you think, no way I couldn't do that. Okay, shake it out, and then we're going to finish with a bit of a favourite, which is down dog. Everyone's favourite. Full body stretch. So I want you to come down. Now I'm going to try to, now you might be here, but we're going to try and sink those heels down. Okay, so here we're going to go fingers wide apart, take a bit of pressure off the wrists. We're going to push our head down and push it towards our knees and push our heels down. So full body stretch. So I'm going to feel that everywhere from calves, into my hamstrings, and into my glutes. And then where we're going to feel it, I want you to twist right knee across. You get some release in the opposite glute and lower back. And then go back and forth, twisting. So we're going to twist the knee in. Twist. So not only glutes, we get those calves as well. So if you're a runner, we work at the ankles, we're releasing the toes. Now we can straighten up the pose. So instead of twisting, we're just pushing down and pedaling the legs. But for today, I'm going to use that twist. We're going to twist that right knee across and the left knee across. We're going to finish 2 more each side. So right knee. Don't worry if those heels aren't touching the ground. Work on it. Left knee. Last one. Right knee. And left. And I'm going to finish now. Push it down. Because if I don't stop there, I'm going to keep going. I can go for ages doing this. So I hope you enjoyed it. If that gives you a bit of release, yeah, comment. Let me know what you think. I hope that helps. I find that really is a big help to loosen it up, feel a bit better after it. But yeah, try it out and keep an eye on. I'll try and keep posting 1 video each week. I think next time maybe there's a bit more power yoga. But